podcast. Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of PvP. As always, I'm joined by the apple of my eye, the blossom in my cherry, the twinkle in my stinkle, Dan.
Hello, Callum. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, whatever the day it is.
I think it's Friday today.
It is.
Been a wish and a week away.
Yeah.
We've got a special episode this week. Special for us more than anything else. But just run through the news, stupid quick. Xbox One can't output at 1080p, 60 frames per second. PS4 can. News done.
Condensed, but effective, no doubt.
That's all that's happened this week, to be fair. Can't think of anything remotely interesting. Call of Duty Ghosts running at 720p. On Xbox.
Yeah, that's launched. People went. People also don't care. I'm one of those people.
I couldn't give a fuck, but the fact
Nope.
that Xbox One cannot output Call of Duty Ghosts at 1080p. It's merely at 720p. Although Activision came out and said, yeah, but you know it's upscaled to 1080p, so you know what you're seeing on your TV is 1080p. It's just bullshit because 720p is 720p regardless.
Yeah.
You can't make more
Take a picture
pixels.
that's 10 megapixels, but you stretch it out to the size of a wall.
Exactly.
It won't look
It's
that
gonna
good,
look
will it?
worse. It's gonna look even
Of course it
worse. But then
There's going to be huge screen tearing. It's going to be amazing.
basically, yeah, and that's not what you want. It basically looks the same as 360, so it's the point of spending nearly £500. And then yesterday, they came out and said Dead Rising 3, which is an Xbox One exclusive, is running at 720p at 30 frames per second.
30?
30.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's not next gen material.
No, it's not. That's not even this gen material.
People complain. I mean, yourself complaining about knack and stuff like that. At least it's running at 1080p at 60.
Yeah, at least
second.
it's functional. It works, you know, and it looks good. I don't like the concept of it, granted, but it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
No issues with how it looks.
Killzone,
Well,
that's
fucking hell.
running fine. I think the only game that's running at 1080p is Forza on the Xbox One. Even Rise, I think is out in at 900p. I could be wrong on that. It could be 1080, but apparently Dead Rising is running at 30 frames per second, 720p, because the Xbox One can't handle it. And rumour has it is because of Kinect, because Kinect takes so much of the OS. It basically overpowers the output.
Well,
but we'll see.
we're not one for rumours, so yeah, we'll just we'll leave that as another possible bullet point in the con section of the Xbone.
Yeah.
But
However,
yeah, it's
Xbox One fans, Xbone fans, have been rejoicing this week because the PlayStation 4 cannot play audio CDs or stream content via DNLA.
oh right, so that thing that I never used my
Yeah,
PS4,
It's-
PS3 for, you mean?
yeah,
That my
exactly.
TV can do it anyway. What? A, I don't even own a CD. Everything I own is digital.
Exactly.
And B, if I want to watch films or whatever, if I watch them on Blu-ray or watch them on my PlayStation, which I do with the PS4 anyway, if I'm watching films that I've got digital on the computer, then I watch that through my TV. So that's not really a massive win, really, is it?
And it's the kind of flaw that, I mean, they've already addressed, and they said if enough people want it, we'll just put it in the further update.
Yeah, but audio CDs are going eventually.
I
they,
can't remember
again,
the last CD I bought.
obsolete. No, I mean everything is going digital now. So
Pointless, but
you
music,
know what I mean?
I don't listen to music on my PlayStation 3.
No, the only time I'd ever do that is if I remember when I had you know, music saved on the hard drive on my Xbox, and you could use it in some games as like a playable radio station. Which is fine, but it was just a nice little treat. It wasn't a necessity. I didn't expect it.
If it
I
wasn't
didn't
there, I
particularly
wouldn't
use
have
it.
bothered.
No, not at all. So especially, how much they spend on licensing for proper soundtracks and stuff.
To be fair, a lot of the games, personally, that use licenses to use actual like bands and artists and stuff, are the likes of, like, say, I remember when I had Burnout on the original Xbox, and that had loads of cool stuff like Rise Against and Fall Out Boy, from First to Last and stuff like that, which are all bands that I liked. So that was quite cool. So I didn't really need the ability to put my own music on there because it was already there, and even stuff like Need for Speed and stuff has quite an eclectic taste of different music for different people. But
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about it. Even if they do issue it on an update, I won't use it. There's no point.
No.
Stupid.
I mean, that means I'd have to actually go out and spend more on CDs to then play them on my PS. Plus you would use a precious hard drive space.
Exactly.
No way.
It's just one of them that it's, just like, well, you can't even listen to music CDs on there. No, but I can play games at 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, on my gaming console, listening to music isn't too much of a deal, to be honest.
I really don't care. The last bit of news, there's nothing else really happened this week, but for those of you that do care, me and myself are included in that category. DC Universe Online will be playable on launch for PlayStation 4, and you can carry over your characters from your existing accounts, and you can play.
What?
So
really? No way.
And you can still play against PS3 players, PC players, and now obviously PlayStation 4 players at the same time.
That's amazing.
It's had a major graphics overhaul, so it looks so much better. There's different things, loads and loads of different things have been added to it. And one for myself, I can play it on my Vita. Fuck yeah.
So that has got to be the first time that something has gone so multi-platform across generations of console as well as different types of console.
Well, yeah.
That's impressive. Considering it's a free-to-play MMO.
Oh yeah, I still enjoy DC. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's got a lot of good merits as well.
I do like it. Do you know what? I might actually do a damn plays for DC Online because I haven't played it in bloody ages, but I love it.
Especially leading up to the PS4.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're right. I might crack onto that because I do like DC Online.
Anyway, that was the news. So this week we've decided we haven't actually got a name for it. You'd have thought we'd have come up with a name for it before we started, but regardless, we are going to be picking various characters from comic books, from games, etc., heroes, villains, putting them against each other and discussing who we think would win and what the outcome would be, essentially. We've both picked characters in secret, and then we're going to pick a number, and that corresponds to one of our characters, and then they go against each other, so it's all totally random.
Yes.
So I shall let young Dan go first. We should also point out we've been the one rule was we can't have anyone with who's invincible, basically. So he likes Wolverine.
Yeah, any kind of god figures.
Hulk, Thor, Superman, etc.
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have even picked him anyway.
That was genuinely one of my first thoughts, but I was just like, actually no, because he can't die. So it kind of gives him a pretty good advantage.
And he's like a million feet tall. And naked. So basically that was the only rule. No invincible characters. So we've both picked we've picked more than 5, but we're only going to have 5 fighters.
Yeah, so it's out of 10. So they're just numbered for me and Carl.
In no particular
random number. Yeah, of course, yeah. So we'll try and make it as random as possible, and then we'll see if, at all, it would be a decent fight, try and figure out who would win.
More importantly, if we can agree.
Well, yeah, that too. So, Cal, what's your first number?
I'm going to 3.
Number 3?
Number 3.
Guess who number 3 is?
Is it the Punisher?
It's the Punisher, well done. Number 3, Frank Castle, a.k.a. the Punisher.
The douchebag.
Okay, And honestly, I put it as a random number because I thought you might go 1, and you thought that'd be him. And I was just like, if you get 3 on the first one, I'll shit my pants.
It's 1 to 5 punish.
No. I put him as a random number. I was trying to be,
It can't be Frankencastle either.
What? No, it's not Frankencastle. No,
right,
this is any of the
Castle.
characters. Yeah, they are standard canon characters. No what ifs or otherwise the Marvel versus the Punisher versus Marvel Universe one. He would just be every character. So things like that again, it makes them more than the character is supposed to be.
Can you imagine if when they did Punisher versus the Marvel Universe, and he lost?
Yeah, it was only 3 pages.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. he just started on. Yeah, he just started on Wolverine and just got stabbed for the head. Yeah, so good choice. Number 3, Frank Castle. And I will go with 7.
Oh, you're not going to believe who it is.
Wolverine?
No, I'm not allowed Wolverine.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, of course.
I was just going to say, because you're not going to guess. Red Hood.
Oh. You're fucking kidding me.
No.
Right, okay.
We actually had this discussion earlier.
Yeah, this is actually quite strange. That wasn't honestly planned at all.
No,
that's quite interesting. Oh god, I don't know if we should do this. I mean, we've basically covered everything anyway.
I think.
But, yeah.
If you want.
Well, I know, quite a lot about the Punisher. You seem to know more about Red than I do, so, it would still be a pretty good fight, I think.
I genuinely think, depending on the circumstance, is there any prep time, or is it just a totally random encounter?
I'm gonna say minimal prep time, as in they're aware that they need to fight, and it is, regardless of whoever it is, regardless of whatever their ethical or moral standings are, it would be a fight to the death.
Yeah,
until beaten or whatever. It is literally to the death, which is why obviously characters like Superman, he would just punch you and you're dead.
Yeah.
That's it. That's an end gamer right away. So obviously they have an incredibly unfair advantage. But obviously the Punisher, Frank Castle, is just a man. He's just a human being. He's been military trained. Obviously he's incredibly, not even superhuman strength, but he's very, very strong.
At least
expert. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Expert marksman. He's an expert tactician and military commander. He employs obviously a bazillion different types of guns, explosives. He's got his battle van. He's also got a few characters that help him out, but he's mainly a solitary character, incredibly psychologically tormented, and he's just all around a very, very. He's kind of the epitome of the anti-hero, in the sense that he sort of does sort out criminal problems, but he kills everyone, basically making him, the criminal at the end of it, because he's obviously just a huge mass murderer. But you can sort of forgive, for some of the people that he does take down. So I think he's a really intricate character in the fact that he's just constantly tormented by his family and, their sort of dead bodies all over him. Whilst... Yeah, the bits of Max Payne, yeah. But without the bullet time, unfortunately. I think if you introduced a bullet time element into a Punisher comic, it would make it a lot more interesting.
Well, it'd be a bit hard to do in a... What do you just tell you to turn the page slowly?
Yeah, pages are stuck together, so you've got to kind of peel them apart.
That just sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I know how much you like the Punisher. I think it would be a close fight, but I'm going, even though I've chosen, I'm going to give it to Jason Todd, by the way, the Red Hood. Not the serial killer.
I hope there's slightly more of a reason than just going, yeah, probably.
Well, for starters, he was trained by Batman. That's a pretty good given just off the off, just straight off the bat. He's an excellent acrobat, brilliant marksman, deadly hand-to-hand combat. He's very good with weapons. Genius level intellect, I believe, as well. So I'd probably say, probably not on the same level as Batman, but I'd probably say he is smarter than Castle.
Yeah, I don't think that the Punisher is ever... He's not exactly known for his intellect, but what he does do is he sets up his sort of kill areas
But he'd do that, and Jason Todd is a skilled detective. So whatever area it is, I'm pretty sure he could work out if something was up.
True, but I mean things like tripwires and traps and stuff like that are usually fairly obvious to see. But if you're just on a roof somewhere watching him with a sniper rifle, there's not really much you can do about that.
If you stood on the roof with a sniper rifle, you'd just shoot him while he was setting the room up.
No. I mean, like, say if there's just someone wandering around, it doesn't matter. If Batman was just sort of walking down the street or stood somewhere.
Is he being Greg's?
If someone just shot him in the head, that's it. He's you can't detect your way out of gunfire.
Well, no, but the same could be said for Castle. I mean, Red Hood.
No, absolutely. But he
uses guns and stuff. He's brilliant with the sniper. Red Hood's gone up against like the likes of Deadshot and stuff in terms of like shooting abilities.
Yeah.
I actually think they're saying that Red Hood uses guns and stuff as a kind of Batman won't kill people. You let me die. And obviously Ra's al Ghul put him in the Lazarus pit to bring him back. And the guns are kind of like, this is what you should be doing. He doesn't necessarily need to use them. So I think, as good as a marksman as he is, I think if it was down to weaponry, Castle might have the edge, possibly. But I do think he would beat him hand to hand, purely for he's a mixed martial artist and he's a hell of a lot more agile.
Yeah, I mean, Castle's basically a tank. So I mean, he will set a kill area, and he will slaughter hundreds of people. I mean, his actual kill total is probably in the tens of thousands by now.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's mainly sort of like intimidation, interrogation, and torture. To sort of get the little fish to take him to the bigger fish. But as for sort of super villains, he doesn't really come up against too much, because obviously it's sort of based in kind of more of a real world kind of thing.
He's kind of like an anti-villain, like an anti-hero himself, whereas in a fashion he could be perceived as a villain. And
absolutely, I mean, from a sort of like a law and order perspective, then he's probably the worst. I mean, he's doing them a favour by taking these criminals out, but he's still using their methods against them.
I'd actually go as far as saying, I'd probably a bit of a long shot, but I'd probably say Red Hood is the Punisher of the DC universe, in the sense that he kind of is a good guy, but he will just kill people
Yeah, but that's not just restricted to bad guys, though. That could be anyone who's in his way.
Oh yeah, I mean, Red Hood he's not necessarily a hero by any stretch of the word. He is as much as an anti-hero as he can be. He's the kind of person that would save someone, and then as they turn to thank him, he'd put a gun to their head and just rob them.
Yeah. But the Punisher's obviously got more of a sort of like a moral kind of, he won't obviously hurt policemen. He saves people. He saves families. Yeah, kind of, but not quite that smart. So I think that because Red Hood would be a bit more ruthless. I don't know, because I mean the thing is though, Castle, when he's just up against the bad guys, he will just fucking lose his shit, and he'll I mean he uses obviously bladed weapons as well, but he's got for lack of a better word, he's kind of got like a rage mode, where he'll just absolutely flip out, and that's adrenaline. It. He's exactly he's just like adrenaline overload, and he will just tear people apart. And he has gone up against sort of meta-humans, and he still does stand toe to toe with them. Obviously, they will have the things like the abilities or the healing and all that kind of stuff. That's got the advantage of him. But without having the money of Batman or the genius of Iron Man, he's kind of like the in-between, because he doesn't really have a huge amount of gadgets. He's literally just like a Marine that's just gone a bit fucking haywire and has just taken it upon himself that his own standards are, that's how he can judge people. But so, I mean, he's sort of, kind of so far removed from kind of like normal life. He doesn't have a double life really. I mean, he's Frank Castle as his his actual family man life. He's dead. He's got his own grave and everything. He's fully committed and personified by the Punisher now. Whereas all these other sort of anti-hero kind of things like Batman, they've still got their alternate life, and they still do other things, so they do try and help the world in other ways. Whereas Castle is literally just committed to murder. Basically, that's his full purpose.
So I've got to back it up there with Red Hood is essentially the same. He doesn't.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say.
Jason Todd or anything anymore. Jason Todd died when the Joker killed him. He's now the Red Hood. That's it.
Exactly. So they don't. There isn't any sort of element that could be exploited from their own personal lives because they are fully, batshit mental, basically, and they are just their own character now. They're not sort of leading a double life.
I think I could honestly say, obviously we had this discussion probably a little bit more in depth earlier, but I think this is probably one of the. I could be wrong, but I think it might be the only verses that we'll do tonight that I think it's going to come down to luck. I think they're both reasonably evenly matched. I will go as far as saying I think Red Hood would have the hand-to-hand advantage purely because of all his training from Batman and League of Assassins, etc. And he can do the kind of tricks, like parlor tricks that Batman does. Like he does use smoke and stuff like that.
Well, in that case, then I could very well agree that due to his training by Batman, up close, hand to hand, Red Hood, at distance gunplay, Frank Castle.
Yeah, that's where I was going. As good as he's an excellent marksman, but I think if there was going to be an edge, I think it would be hand to hand. It wouldn't be a case of sneak up, take him out, job done. I think it would be a pretty brutal fight, but hand to hand, I would give it to Todd. Andy, like you said earlier, he's pretty fucking ruthless. He could go in and say, right, rules, hand to hand, no weapons. And then he'll just literally go up, hit him, and then pull a gun out and shoot him. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's something I've said. That's, I know that I've said no sort of alternate stories or anything, but when the Punisher in Frankencastle, which is a pretty big book, it's pretty cool. When he's fighting Daken, hand to hand, like they're in a sewer, so it's close quarters, there's no guns. Daken's obviously got the advantage because of his mental regenerative powers and his claws the same as Wolverine. But the Punisher still manages to beat him down in a sense that he managed to outfight him.
Yeah.
And as he's getting out of the sewer, he's actually stuck an explosive on him. So as he's getting out of the sewer, he explodes. But obviously he pulls himself back up, so he's okay. But in a sense, he's Daken would have had the strength advantage, and he still would have had the sort of animal reflexes of Wolverine, but he still managed to be beaten in a fight, in a physical fist fight. And if that had been a normal person, that explosive would have killed him straight away.
Oh yeah, but would you say the outcome would have been the same if it wasn't Frankencastle?
No, that was before he was Frankencastle.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah, after he's actually Frankencastle, he's incredibly slow. He's very, very slow, sluggish. He has to take pills to keep his brain working. He's incredibly strong. He smacks someone in the head and their fucking head explodes and all that sort of stuff. But that was before Daken kills him. For the amount of times he actually killed him and shot him and blew him up and stuff, he would have killed him about 6 times before Daken actually killed him. And he did knock out Wolverine. So, do you know what? I'll give him that. So in a fist fight, I'd say he's pretty tank-like, but he wouldn't have the speed.
No. Purely basing it on training, I imagine he has the ability and know-how to know where to hit and how to hit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he would have the advantage hand to hand. I think Frank could do more damage physically, because Jason Todd's not exactly massive. He's not even Batman level physique. In terms of like
speed,
blood.
But when it comes to the fist fight, it'll always be about speed rather than overall strength.
But I mean, he's that level of acrobat that he could kick him in the face from standing. Castle. I'm not saying he couldn't kick, but
no, but he can take a lot of punishment though.
Oh yeah,
well,
yeah, obviously.
no pun intended.
I do think, I think it would be a stupidly close battle, and whoever did win would be near enough finished anyway.
Yeah, I think that no matter which way it goes, it would be a case of that makes sense. That.
Yeah.
So it is certainly something that I like. It's obviously something that's never going to happen, two different universes, but it's it's out of all the ones that we could have picked there, I think you're right. I think that is probably going to be the closest to say, oh God, I really don't know. It could go either way. It depends on if someone gets a lucky hit or a shot. It's gonna depend really. But I mean, say if it was up against someone who was, say like Robin, because they're usually quite reserved and they have to hold back from doing permanent or serious damage. Obviously, I don't think that would be enough of an edge because someone like Red Hood or Castle would be punching to cause brain damage, to hit to break bones. Yeah, to take them down as quickly as possible. Otherwise, obviously, they're going to keep on fighting back. So against someone like Robin, then I think the Castle would have an equal, if not better, chance in a fist fight. And then obviously with guns and stuff, they wouldn't stand a chance.
I don't know about not stand a chance, but they're trained to avoid knives and guns fire.
True, but they still can't move at the speed of sound.
Yeah, they're not that quick. They're as good as acrobats as they are. They're not that quick, and they're not armoured up like Batman. But that's a different fight altogether.
No, I agree. But I'd say that's a pretty good conclusion. It's a very close victory for both of them, but under different circumstances.
Yeah, I think this is the only one we're not going to decide on. So I'm going to say,
you know what? I'd say that's probably a good point. Yeah,
I think we'll end that one on hand to hand, Hood, weaponry, Castle.
Yeah,
so
I'm happy.
Depending on the circumstance of if it's a free for all, anything goes. I'll probably say Castle.
Yeah.
If it's no weapons, Hood.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. We should have done that one last, really, because I can see us falling out.
Right, okay, so that's a pretty good conclusion for that one. So fire away, what's your next number?
So I'll just remove Hood from the list.
Yeah, I'll just put a little tick next
to
Frank.
I'm going to... actually, no, it's your turn to choose first, because I chose the last one.
Ooh, okay then. I will go 2.
Fuck's sake. Nightwing.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, okay, so we've got Nightwing versus...
number 8.
Ooh. Dr. Octopus.
Now,
Doc Ock. Yeah. Very, very, very clever man. Very disturbed. But with a kind of like a backup of his robotic 4 arms that give him a huge advantage because he's just got so many extra limbs to go flying. However, I'd say his sort of initial weakness is if you can get past the arms. He's not he's not super ripped, he's not a massive combat specialist, he's just got the arms.
Yeah, and
if you get past the arms, you're pretty good to go.
Unfortunately for this battle, I'm pretty sure Nightwing being the best acrobat in the DC universe.
Yeah, so, I'm just thinking, as to whether... because, obviously, Dr. Octopus's arms run off his brain, so they will move as quick as he can think, as quick as one of his own arms could move. And because of the length, the strength of them, you know, how strong they are, you'd only have to clip him, you know, to sort of knock him off balance, or, you know, catch him in the middle of a flip or something like that. And he could do some serious damage with those. I mean, don't forget this is to kill, so...
But at the same time, you know, I mean, Dick Grayson, Nightwing, is Batman light. He is the second, probably... Well, no, there is another person who would be the second, but I'd say he's one of the closest things you'll get to being Batman. So much so that when they thought Bruce Wayne was dead, Dick Grayson was the one everyone wanted to take up the mantle, and he refused it for a while, but he did eventually give in. But you know, he's peak human level athlete, he's master martial artist, acrobat, detective, tactician, field commander. Obviously, he's got access to all the gadgets and gizmos and stuff. And I think, obviously, the first thing you're gonna do when you, even if I was going up against Dr. Octopus, first thing I'd go is, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to stay away from them arms. No, because being like the best acrobat in the DC universe, I'm pretty sure he could navigate his way around pretty easily.
True, but I've just thought, you know, I mean, say if the only circumstances they actually get is to say, right, you've got to go and kill this guy. There isn't really anyone that I can think of, off the top of my head anyway, in the DC universe with the same abilities of Dr. Octopus. No one with these sort of mechanical arms, which means that this would be a new enemy for Nightwing to come up against.
I suppose,
because obviously you've got to rethink. Oh shit! What the fuck? He's got 4 arms. What? Bang! And that's him. You know, that's a fucking claw in the face.
See, I don't know, because he's not going to just waltz in, is he? He's going to be observing.
No. I mean, he's still going to be. In. Yeah, but I mean, like I say though, Dr. Octopus hasn't really got any kind of like stealth or military training or anything like that. He's literally just, what is it, like physics, like atomic physics or something?
Yeah,
that he's
effectively just a scientist with 4 mechanical arms.
Well, they're titanium arms, so that they're fucking super strong. But obviously, those give him a movement advantage as well, because obviously he could just lift himself up above Nightwing's reach and use the other 2 arms to smack him.
I'll be honest, I think Nightwing probably could jump to get to his height.
Yeah, but I mean,
if it's close quarters,
across multi-surface though, isn't it? I mean, you know, we can go up walls, across ceilings and stuff like that.
Yeah, but is that if it was face to face, his arms wouldn't reach him?
What if he was directly in front of him?
Yeah, say there wasn't fighting, they were literally he was just stood nose to nose. I don't think his arms would be able to get him.
Well, they can. They can. There's the scene in Spider-Man 2 that I can think of straight away where he takes his glasses off with them. So I mean, they can get. I mean, I'd imagine it would take slightly longer because they'd have to sort of double back on themselves. So he might have a slight time advantage for how long it would actually take the arms to get there. And then if he could obviously get out of the way quick enough,
but by which point
Nightwing
snapped his neck.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I have no doubt on this one.
No, I think I'm with you. Being smart only sort of covers so much, and I mean, Nightwing has a billion gadgets anyway, so you'd only need some kind of EMP gadget that would just knock them offline or something like that. And then as soon as you're within sort of punching range, Dr. Octopus would just stand no chance.
Yeah, if he didn't fuck up, he'd have to be on top form just to avoid being hit by the arms. But I'm pretty certain Nightwing would take this pretty easily.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the approach. If you can get to him from behind.
But the arms have got like eye things in them, haven't they?
Well, they're still controlled by his brain though, so his brain would still have to process it, and obviously with the stealth training that Nightwing would have, he'd still be able to approach him without being seen.
Yeah.
So whether you've got 6 eyes or 2, you know, if they don't see you, then that's it. I mean, he hasn't got any kind of extra sensory perception. He's not aware of his surroundings in a sort of like a smell or a hearing capacity. He would only have the extra sort of visual, advantage.
Yeah.
But providing that you get up behind him, I don't think there'd be any question. If it was a direct frontal assault, though, if, and that is a big if, he could get past the arms, he'd batter it.
Oh, yeah.
Doubt.
And
But the arms,
I think he
that's the
probably
key.
could, though. I think he is that agile. He could, like, jump and flip and twirl and with cartwheel and all sorts. And
Yeah, but
literally,
there'd be
he could
so many. I
probably-
mean, if he's on his 2 feet and he's sending 4 arms at him, all he needs to do is send one at him to make him move one way, one to be there to intercept, and there's only one other possible way that he could go, and you'd have the other one there.
But at the
Or
same
if you
time,
just
he could
had
have a
them
gadget.
spinning round like helicopter blades.
I
You know what I mean?
I actually think, I don't know why I've got it in my head, but I've got a kind of image of if Octopus made a like an appearance in like Teen Titans or something, he'd be like Nightwing would be back flipping around and stuff. Even though it's not in Teen Titans, but that kind of cartoon, that Nightwing would be flipping and jumping around to the extent that Dr. Octopus's arms would get tied together. that's what I've got in my head.
Yeah.
But no, I think he could rather reasonably easily take Octopus down.
Yeah. The thing is, though, and that is the key point, I think, that because obviously this is to kill, if one of Octopus's arms actually connected with him, I think that would be it. It would either do him so much damage he wouldn't be able to recover and he'd just tear him apart, or it would kill him instantly.
See, I think I agree, but I don't think he'd kill him off one hit. I think he'd have to knock him down.
I mean,
and then
that's
grab
what I
him.
mean, and then like pull his head off.
Two arms,
like that.
pick-
But
two arms.
the
hit him,
speed that
the
would
other
have
two
to be
rip his
moving
head.
at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, the speed that arm would have to be moving at in order to hit him, I think he would still have the reflex ability to get out of the way of it.
Yeah.
But if there's more than one heading at him, that's when things could really get tricky. Because obviously, if there's 3 heading at him at the same time and one coming from above, you'd need fighter pilot reflexes to get the hell out of the way.
Which I imagine he has, to be fair.
True, but then that arm would just move.
No, I'm going to
If
go.
he had a
back.
way, I think that the best way he would disable the arms. Like, I think that they're sort of like tied into Octopus's brain, so I don't know if he could just switch them off. But if he could contain them somehow, trap them, like with glue or something like that, then, some kind of sticky bomb, and all 4 arms go flying at him at the same time, and he glues them all together.
Batman has a like a kind of like cryo bomb that like kind of freezes stuff.
Yeah, something
it's
like that.
pretty
Just that
stupidly
would,
strong. I reckon
that would
if Spider-Man's webs can contain them for a short while,
only a short while, but certainly long enough.
I think if you could contain them, say like a cryo bomb or something to that effect, even like a batarang, like the ropey thingy, like literally enough to tie them together to keep them down for a couple of seconds, just enough
employ
to
a
get
bit of
it.
smoke, and that would again be enough to get past any kind of sort of like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to see where he is, so obviously you're not going to be able to hit him if you can't see him. So yeah, I'd say that providing the fact that he can get past the arms, disable them or outmaneuver them, whatever, I think that Nightwing could take him.
Yeah, I'm happy to go purely, obviously because it's my choice, but but I genuinely think it would be Nightwing.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I'm going to put
Definitely
winner
Nightwing.
against Nightwing,
Yes.
and you are going to put loser against Dr. Octopus.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing that. Okay.
No.
Put it in capital letters. Loser, and I'll put winner against Frank. There we go. Okay. Right. Number time.
I'm going to go with 4.
4.
Yeah,
Ooh.
not Thor. 4.
4. We're on a similar kind of similar track. Norman Osborn,
That's a poor choice.
the Green Goblin.
Yeah, but no, you've picked Norman Osborn. You haven't picked the Green Goblin.
No. I mean, that's Norman Osborn.
No,
AKA
I'm afraid we're taking Norman Osborn.
no.
Just a
he's
man in a
useless.
suit.
Yeah, no, it's Norman Osborn as Green Goblin.
Oh, okay.
and I will go with number 9.
Batman.
Okay, Batman wins. Next.
That's the next one. I honestly think we don't need to describe that one.
No, pretty much a... Do you know what? We should have probably put main characters to the side. So, there's very few people that will beat... Actually, no, I've got someone on this list that I reckon would be able to take Batman. Actually, no, I've got 2.
I'm afraid he's going to Norman Osborn.
Yep, so loser.
Pick a number there.
Okay, 1.
Green Arrow.
Ooh, Green Arrow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the Robin Hood of the Batman.
He is just Robin Hood. Come on.
He's better than Robin Hood. We'll go into this further in a moment. I'm going to pick 6.
Number 6, Nightcrawler.
Oh shit!
Now,
I was very
arrows.
I was so close to picking.
All very good and well, but teleportation kind of beats a lot of things. To be honest.
See, my argument for this one is going to be Nightcrawler can only teleport where he's already been. He's never been to the DC universe, so Green Arrow has been to the Marvel universe.
No, come on, let's try and put a bit of logic to this. I'm sure we can think of a way of getting Oliver to get an upper hand. Now, obviously, arrows travel incredibly fast, especially when they're fired by Green Arrow, because obviously he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Not bullet fast, but certainly close enough to. You certainly wouldn't be able to either catch or dodge one unless you knew exactly whereabouts it was going to hit. And obviously Nightcrawler will only teleport when he's aware that something's happened.
I was just about to say, I think if he had the element of surprise, I genuinely think Arrow might just... If he could get him, I think he would be a better fighter without any teleportation. I think he's a lot bigger than Nightcrawler. It's like Batman peak.
Yeah, but Nightcrawler, he also does have a sword as well that he does use, and he is trained in swordsmanship, fencing.
Yes, but Oliver Queen is a massively skilled swordsman and martial artist.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
athlete.
Nightcrawler does have inhuman agility, though.
Oh yeah, he does, but I mean, as strength and physical blows, I think Ollie might just possibly take it, but I would... no, Nightcrawler.
That would be if you could take... I'd give it you if he got a kill shot without him knowing he was there. If you could do that, that's the only way I could think.
Sure,
if you hit him in the shoulder, if you hit him anywhere that he would survive, you're dead.
Well, he'd go straight to the head. Through the head or through the heart.
I mean, I'm not sure if he uses, I'd imagine so, kind of different types of arrows, so just some sort of explosive arrow or something like that.
He's got, what's it called? A curved bow. He's got like loads of different trick arrows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Smoke and fire and, like, explosion ones and, like, proximity mines and stuff like that.
But don't forget that both of these are going into the situation of they are aware that they are being attacked by...
I was kind of hoping we forgot about this bit, because...
Or they're going to be killed, which means that he's going to be on edge, in a constant state of teleportation.
I was kind of hoping we'd forgot about the prep time rule, because that was kind of my only way out of this.
That's the only advantage you'd have, So I don't think there's much else we can say about that. It would be Nightcrawler, definitely. Winner.
So I've got I'm going to have to put a loser next to Green Arrow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He was quite a favourite of mine.
Okay.
So yes, Nightcrawler won. Dan's finally won one.
What do you mean? Frank had one.
Yeah, but Todd also had it as well.
Yeah, still a point.
It's a tie.
Yeah. I will go... I'm not even sure what numbers are left. I'll go number 10. I know there's nothing for 10 so far.
Azrael.
What? Nightcrawler's dad?
No. Batman Azrael.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Have I had number 5?
No, you haven't.
I'll go number 5.
Okay, first of all, I don't actually know, well, virtually next to nothing about Azrael, so you might want to explain as to who the hell he is before I actually tell you who number 5 is.
Basically...
No, I'm not going to change it.
No.
I just mean that I want to know what my odds are.
Jean-Paul Valley. He was just like a fucking student guy, but he's basically in the line of. I suppose it's a bit like Assassin's Creed in the sense that he's like the latest in line of assassin forces for this thing called like the Sacred Order of. Fucking hell! I should have wrote this down. The Sacred Order of the Saint Dumas, which is like this super fucking sinister religious thing. He gets brainwashed and stuff like that. He becomes like a weapon of death going around. But he does actually start working with Alfred, obviously Batman's butler, after Bruce gets captured, and he ends up going and rescues Batman. And then when Bruce Wayne supposedly dies, Azrael, he makes like an armoured Batman suit, and it's like ridiculously artificially enhanced. He's got a bit mental in the head, but he's very smart, stupidly good combat skills, very, very intelligent. He's a computer expert.
Well, he's still just a human, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Number 5 for me, a Sentinel.
See, I think I would get to Azrael.
Now, we're not talking about, Days of Future Past Sentinels. We're talking proper Sentinels. Skyscraper-sized, blasting, flying Sentinels of
One
death.
massive flaw in your chosen fighter, I shall call him, even though he's a robot. They're only programmed to hunt mutants. Azrael's not a mutant, so he wouldn't fight him.
Yeah, but that's, programming to be rewritten, so that's irrelevant. So in this instance, he's hunting for DC characters, not mutants.
So I don't know, because he's got like these like fiery fucking wrist blade things and swords and stuff.
Really? Swords? Really?
Yeah, that are like on
swords.
Fire.
Yeah. But he could just about reach his foot.
Yeah, chop his legs so he falls over.
It's not Raiden, for Christ's sake.
He's as good as. He's that good.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with a gigantic supercomputer with fucking lasers in his eyes and beams in his hands, and can fly, I think a Sentinel would probably have the advantage.
Yeah, but he can't fly in a fucking enclosed area without taking the roof off.
True, but he could hover.
That's true.
Hover, shoot, dead.
Not if you missed.
Yep, because they're famous for their missing, those Sentinels. That's why they were...
How many mutants have they took down?
Quite a lot.
Who?
Genosha? That was hundreds of them there.
Yeah, no.
One-on-one with just a normal human being.
Yeah, but no known fucking... known mutants. If that makes any sense.
What, the main cast, you mean?
Yeah. They're all like...
Well,
thousands of
it
mutants
kind of leaves a bad read. Yeah. It's a pretty bad comic book if, one of the enemies actually just kills everybody. They've got to have some sort of weakness, but that's a weakness that the X-Men can exploit, not necessarily just some assassin type guy. Like Ezio Auditore versus a Sentinel. I know who my fucking money's on.
Ezio. No. To be fair, Ezio could go against fucking Sackboy, and I'd say Sackboy. I hate Assassin's Creed. Although Black Flag looks pretty cool. But no.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give it to the Sentinel, I'm afraid.
Yeah, for sheer brutality. Now, the Sentinel, I think, is a double-edged sword, because against someone like Azrael, obviously he would have an advantage, but if you'd have said, Nightcrawler, for example. They're, the X-Men know how to beat Sentinels.
Yeah, that's true.
So that would be good. But this would be a brand new enemy. It'd be a fucking huge robot.
Then again, though, they've got prep time, and Azrael is on like near enough the same intellect as Wayne.
True, but unless he had a nuclear bomb with him, then I don't know what he's going to do.
His armoured batsuit's pretty fucking strong.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure it's Sentinel strong.
Yeah, if he stepped on him, would he survive?
What if he stepped on the Sentinel?
No. I'm pretty sure the Sentinel would be alright, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to forfeit this one.
Yeah, go with
It's not really much for it. The worst of it is that Azrael's cool as fuck, man.
Yeah. You just don't beat a big robot, though, unfortunately.
Pick a number, you bastard.
What have we got left? What's left?
3, 4, 5, 6, sorry.
Alright, okay. Well, 5 anyway.
Cyclops.
And you have 1, 2, 7, 9 and 10. And
7.
Cyclops. Okay. 7.
Yeah.
Okay, 7. Darth Revan.
Cyclops.
No.
Cyclops.
No! Obviously not. Darth Revan, the greatest of all the Sith Lords, against the idiot that is Cyclops.
Cyclops has got, like, fucking optic blasts, man. And a massive package.
Darth Revan's got Force Crush. Force Lightning. He can throw his lightsaber. He can block it with his lightsaber.
I honestly think his optic blast would destroy a lightsaber.
No, it would just catch it, the same way that it does with the Force Lightning. It would absorb it.
No.
You know it's true!
No.
You know it's true.
See, I don't know though, because like his beams don't actually cause like recoil or like heat or anything. They're just like stupidly powerful.
It's like pure energy, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Solar energy or something.
Which I don't think he'd be able to consume.
Okay, granted. Say, for example's sake, because obviously this isn't something that everyone's really talked about before, Cyclops against the Jedi. But say, for example's sake, if the lightsaber wouldn't be able to absorb the energy of Cyclops' blasts, Darth Revan has the Force, so he would be able to use the Force to predict what he was going to do. He's obviously got all his Force mind manipulation powers. He's got his Force lightning. He can he'd move at superhuman speeds. Throw his lightsaber, and obviously if the heat ray the optic blast would go through the lightsaber, if it wasn't going to absorb it, then he wouldn't be able to stop the lightsaber unless he physically shot the hilt of it. In which case, if he could do that, then obviously he destroys lightsaber. But obviously, Jedi and Sith are renowned hand-to-hand combat specialists, as well as
so is Cyclops. Though Cyclops is a very good hand-to-hand combatant.
True, but he's combat. Yeah, but he would still be reading off Revan's body, so he would sort of, he'd be thinking where's he going to punch. But Revan would be able to manipulate and corrupt him.
Cyclops' optical blast has been able to move Thor's hammer. That's how strong it is.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Is that with or without the visor?
I think it was without.
Without. See, that, although as strong as it would be an impairment of itself, wouldn't it? Because he wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah, he'd put the visor straight back on, though. And he can overload bishops. Like, how I imagine it'd be a similar. It obviously could be totally wrong, but Sith and some Jedi as well. You kind of manipulate by absorbing energy off stuff. When Cyclops does it to Bishop, it's that powerful that he actually overloads Bishop's own power, causing injury to Bishop. So I want to say Cyclops, but I think ultimately.
No, I think the abilities within the Force that a Dark Sith would have would just be enough to crush him.
But
I mean that, and the Force obviously, they both wouldn't be able to predict each other's abilities. Cyclops wouldn't be able to realise that Revan would be telekinetic and could summon lightning like Storm. And by the same token, Revan wouldn't be expecting someone who could shoot laser beams out of his eyes.
Saying that though, I think other than like a Force Choke or a Force Crush or something, lightning, I think he'd be able to use his optic blast enough to at least separate it, so like the lightning would go around him instead of like into him.
Yeah, I think that because obviously like Storm's powers, he would be aware of it and how to defend against it.
Yeah.
Not saying that they sort of trained against each other using, how to stop each other, but
I
he
imagine
would certainly be aware of it. Oh well, maybe, I don't know.
Because you never know if the situation will arise that something's going to happen, and you end up fighting the rest of the X-Men. It's happened.
True, which means that Revan would be at a disadvantage, because obviously the optic blast he would be able to prepare for. Although, obviously, laser beams from not stormtroopers, but, from the weaponry of the time, the Force gives him that much of an edge that he can block laser bullets.
Yeah.
Which, if it is actually a laser, it's, near enough light speed. So, if he can defend that, he would be able to move out of the way. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
If you could raise a lightsaber enough to block it and reflect it back at whoever it was, I'm pretty sure you would be able to move with enough sort of speed to actually get out of the way. And I'm assuming that Cyclops' blast would be at a similar speed.
Yeah.
But at full power, obviously, it would slow him down, because as soon as he's fired, if he didn't hit Revan, Revan would be out of the way and he'd be next to him. Or he'd just hit him with a fucking iron beam or something. Just bring the roof down on top of him. So, I mean, the Force gives him access to a lot of powers, but, just affecting the physical world around him.
At the same time, though, Cyclops could shoot the floor on the ceiling and cause it to fall on or from underneath Revan.
True. But, I mean, they do have the Force jump thing, so they can jump huge distances.
Jump up into the beam of Cyclops' face.
True. that is a good point, yeah.
No. I think
that is on the basis that Revan's lightsaber skills would be useless. If, however, his lightsaber would be able to either absorb or reflect Cyclops' beam, I don't think there'd be any question in it at all.
See, I don't think
that's the only advantage.
He's strong enough to deflect his optical blast. I think his
I don't know. It would depend on the
through.
lightsaber, I suppose, wouldn't it? The crystal, the power, his use of the Force. And stuff.
What if he what if he shut the handle?
That would be the thing. I think that would be the only way to be able to get himself the edge, if he could destroy the lightsaber. And
he's pretty focused with it, though. I mean, like he can shoot it through like the eye of a needle.
Yeah, but then there's no real way of defending against the Force, though.
No, obviously it's all around. As much as I hate to say it, because I don't want to be wrong, I don't like being wrong, but I think this was the wrong fight for Cyclops.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put loser next to Cyclops.
Okay. So
I don't know why I picked him, because I'm not a massive Cyclops fan, but he is very powerful, so I think that's why I choose him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to get to Revan.
Alright, well I've got a nice winner badge next to Revan's name. Well done, Revan.
So let you choose a number.
I will go number 3.
The Green Ranger.
I have no idea who that is.
Mighty Morphin. Green.
Oh my god! A Power Ranger. Okay, good call. And
this one's quite fucking good as well. Because if you don't... I'll get into it after. So, what have I got left?
You've got 1, 2, and 10, I think.
10. Yeah,
okay,
10.
number 10.
Green
Amphibian.
Ranger versus... Who?
The Amphibian.
Who's that?
He's one of the monsters from the Isle of Monsters.
What's that?
It's like the League of Monsters or something.
What's that?
It's a Marvel thing. It's do you know who? Is it the Beast or something? I think he's called. No.
Could this be like the one Marvel comic I've not read?
Possibly. He's like a kind of a fish gill guy. He's got like big gills on the side of his head.
Yeah, you're not.
It's weird to explain. Fuck. Can I make a last minute substitution? I've just realised that he's a cool character, but I actually know bugger all about him.
That makes two of us.
Okay, I want to substitute Amphibian.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you because.
Okay, so you've got one or two.
Well, you can pick if you can think of a character within 5 seconds to replace it.
Oh, sorry, 1, 2, or 9. Sorry, I forgot you've got 9 on there as well.
9 then.
Okay. Number 9 is the Martian Manhunter.
Ranger.
Why?
How do you defeat the Green Ranger? There's 2 ways you can do it, and if you don't know them, then you can't win. That's why this is brilliant. Disregarding, obviously, Power Rangers is the children's show, but disregarding the children aspect of it, going down on abilities and powers and stuff. If you don't know the 2 ways, you can't win. It's not shooting them in the head either.
I'm pretty sure that'd pretty much do it.
Nope, it actually wouldn't. The suits keep them alive.
Suits keep them alive?
Yeah. But they can be beaten, that's why they're allowed to be in.
Well, Superman can be beaten.
No, I kind of worded that wrong. It doesn't keep them alive, but it kind of helps them. They can be killed and they can be beaten, and the other Rangers more so. But except the white one, the white suit does actually keep him alive. But the green one has 2 very specific ways of defeating him. Bearing in mind, he's that strong that when he was like the evil Green Ranger, he took on all the other Power Rangers and beat them, and it took the Megazord to fight him off, and he didn't defeat him. He just retreated for a little bit and then came back and nailed him. You can't Google it either.
I genuinely have no idea.
Well, that's
kick him in the knob.
That's winner for Green Ranger.
No, that's not fair. You can't just have some unknown weakness that no one knows about.
Why?
And certainly one that you don't tell me, because if I can think of a way to exploit it.
Well, his shield. You know what the Green Ranger looks like, don't you? You remember?
Yeah.
Well, his shield actually regenerates health as long as he's wearing it. So if you could take that off, that would help. Right. But there's a green candle that Goldar keeps, and once that candle's burnt out, he'll lose his powers. So
that is bullshit.
So you'd have to destroy the candle.
He's just like his powers are on a time limit. He can't die until the candle runs out. That's not a fair advantage.
Of course it is. You don't know how far the candle's burnt out. Could be nearly there.
True, but he could have just fucking lit the thing.
No, he doesn't light it himself.
Oh, right.
He doesn't know about it until he's nearly dead.
Right, okay.
Also, Dragon Sword. You know.
Yeah, but Martian Manhunter, super strong, light,
but
heat vision.
The Power Ranger suits give them superhuman like strength and stuff.
Yeah, but this is like Superman levels of strength.
Yeah, I'd say Green Ranger could go toe to toe with Superman.
Shut up! Oh my god.
Dragon Sword.
Yeah, of course he would. Just flying into the sun.
Alright.
There you go.
If there was a fight between Green Ranger and Superman, are you telling me you wouldn't root for the Green Ranger?
No, I don't even like the Green Ranger. It was always the Blue Ranger. That was my Triceratops.
Just because he wears glasses.
No, it's because he was the smart one out of a lot of them.
Yeah, because he wears glasses.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's That's the only reason. I thought you were slightly smarter than I am.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Until it's
I'll
summer,
go with that.
I've got my shades
Therefore,
on.
I win. Therefore, my argument is more
No,
intellectually sound than
He
yours.
wasn't smart enough to choose the Green Ranger.
Well, that's because I didn't think Power Rangers. My apologies.
You didn't think after watching Scorpion versus White Ranger last night, you didn't think of Power Rangers?
All I thought was, he's now like 40 years old and he's still dressed as a Power Ranger. What a dickhead.
He's a fucking MMA fighter.
He's still a dickhead.
He's a Jason Dave Frank mint. Fucking legs.
Alright, go marry him then, calm down.
I would. Big hunky. Anyway, going back to our own verses. I honestly would give the edge to the Green Ranger.
I don't know, I mean... The Martian Manhunter is still... He's basically Superman, but with telekinetic powers.
Well, you can't have it then, can you?
Yeah, but he's not Superman. So, fuck you. But, he's, I mean, thing is though, like, obviously Superman couldn't really be used as a sort of like a player, so to speak, in this, because you'd need kryptonite, and obviously if you were just walking into a warehouse and there he was, you go, fuck, where's my kryptonite? I haven't got it with me. Is there any around? No, obviously not.
It depends who you had though, because I suppose if, say you had Superman and you happened to pick Batman, then obviously Superman would have lost.
True, but that's on the assumption that he knew that he was going to go up against Superman.
Yeah,
otherwise there's no reason you'd take that.
Yeah, but that's what we decided. They do know they're going against each other.
No, they knew they were going up against someone, as in fight to the death or they'll kill you sort of thing, but you don't know as to who they are.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so you wouldn't just bring your normal kryptonite supply with you just in case.
It's only a ring. You just put it on.
Yeah, but what about if it had been Dr. Octopus? He wouldn't have had a fucking clue.
Yeah,
if he'd have known about kryptonite, he would have made his arms out of kryptonite and he'd have been alright.
Not really. And I don't know if he was going against Superman. I still think Nightwing would have beat him with kryptonite arms.
Well, the Martian Manhunter's sort of weakness is fire. And obviously fire's a lot easier to make.
Dragon Sword.
Yeah.
Breathes fire.
Well,
it does.
But he can also, he's superhuman speed, senses, he can fly.
Green Ranger can teleport. He's got superhuman strength, agility, martial artist, dragon dagger, shield that heals himself, dragon sword,
heat vision, super hurricane breath, the breathing thing.
Mento.
Invisibility.
I'm still going Green Ranger.
Against an invisible Superman. Fuck off.
Yeah.
They could also throw things at you with his mind.
Yeah. Dragon Sword. Squash.
You can't just call in massive robots.
Of course he can. It's part of his weapons.
Yeah, you said that there was like a height restriction on this. Where does the Dragon Sword come into it?
Through the roof.
Oh right, okay.
Comes in.
So the Sentinel couldn't fly, but he can just call in a Dragon Sword through the roof.
Yeah, he can't leave the arena. But there's nothing stopping anything coming in. Yeah.
Okay, well, Martian Manhunter summons Superman for a super team-up.
You're not allowed to call Superman.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay then, I'm calling Galactus. I'm calling Zordon. Fuck it. Alpha 5.
Yeah, that's the only sidekick you can call in as the Green Ranger.
Call the rest of the Power Rangers.
Okay, well then the Martian Manhunter
with all their
rest
swords.
of the Justice League.
So, as you're not allowed Superman, and you're not allowed Wonder Woman, that leaves Green Lantern and Flash.
And Batman.
Oh yeah, sorry, Batman as well, yeah. No, because Batman's already fought. Batman's not allowed in. He's already fought.
What? Okay, well, I summon all of the other Power Rangers that they've been. There's like 40 of them now. So you get the original ones, and I have all the brand new ones?
Yeah, all the kids.
Yeah,
Or-
I'm sure
or-
they'd be pretty good.
All mine are like fucking prime adults now, and one's an MMA fighter.
He's definitely an adult. Jesus Christ.
Who's also fucking the White Ranger as well. So he's just going to turn into the White Ranger suit.
Alright, okay, so he can transpose as well. Fantastic.
He always brings a wardrobe. No. On one hand, which is the hand I'm going to use, I'm going to give it to the Green Ranger. But on the other, slightly more realistic hand, I would say Martian Manhunter. But, as Martian Manhunter wouldn't know about his shield and wouldn't know about the candle, I'm going to give it to Green Ranger.
True. But Green Ranger also wouldn't know the fact they'd be invulnerable to fire unless... vulnerable to fire unless he shot it at him.
Which he could.
But if he... True, but if he was just going up against him like he does all of his other enemies, just sort of running out and going, "Hiya! Hiya!" then he'd just crush his head.
See, that's what I mean, disregarding the kiddie aspect of it. Literally put him down as a fighter. None of the, head bobbing and talking with the hands and stuff.
Yeah, but he's still restricted by... I mean, he might have superhuman strength, but
And
the
speed.
Martian Manhunter has... Yeah, but that's compared to a normal person. You know, you punch someone
Yeah,
and they
he's
hit
not
against
as
the wall.
fast
Or
as
you punch
Spider-Man.
someone and they go into the sun.
No, because you can't punch him into the sun, because that's leaving the arena. If that's the case...
No, I mean,
he's allowed
that's
his
the
Dragon
power
Sword.
that the Manhunter would have, though.
I'm still calling it the Dragon Sword.
You can't call in Dragon Swords. That's not a thing. Otherwise, my next one's going to be Ash Ketchum, and I'm just going to call all the Pokemon he's got
I
in
was
this
actually going
fight.
to choose Charizard as one of my fighters. Well, I think I probably should have Mewtwo, really.
Mewtwo is always my go-to guy.
Yeah, Charizard and Mewtwo. Mewzard.
He
Charizard.
sounds a bit weird now, though.
No, I'm going to say... I don't think it'd be easy by any means, but I think Martian Manhunter would win. But I don't think it'd be it wouldn't be a straightforward fight.
No, I think it would be a lot of testing.
But
then if you figured out, because I mean, Martian Manhunter's, I suppose you call it pyrophobia. Like he's not only he's vulnerable to fire, but he's afraid of it as well. So if the Green Ranger could figure out, if he just called out fire and he saw him back away from it, then he's lost because he's just pelting with it as much as he possibly could.
Because they can shoot projectiles as well. Not a fire.
Yeah.
It's only energy, but then again,
Well, that's still heat, maybe. I don't know.
if you go off it from from the show, that when they get hit, the sparks come off them. What if one of them sparks set Martian's coat on fire?
Yeah. Yeah. So I reckon if he found out the fire weakness, I reckon I'd have to give it to the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, with his speed, the strength, his fucking heat vision and everything, then yeah, I'd say Manhunter.
I think all in all, I'm going to have to say Manhunter, realistically. Because by the time he'd figured it out, I think he might have at least broke the shield with a punch. I'm not that positive. I'm not really that sure how strong the shield is. I know it could take an awful lot, and it did withstand hits from the Megazord, which is all the other Ranger Zords combined.
But I don't know what sort of strength level that is on. Say if you got punched by the Megazord and you got punched by Superman, which would be stronger.
I'd be dead before Superman hit
me. He's going. But that's things. I mean, the amount of damage you can take in the Power Ranger universe compared to the damage that can be inflicted in the DC universe could be two entirely different things. You know?
Yeah. Dragon Zord.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Manhunter on this one. I think he's on the edge.
Gonna have to, but
I'd say that pretty much covers it.
So the winners going through to the next one. We've got Nightwing. We've got Batman. We've got a tie between Red Hood and Punisher. And who do you have as winner?
As winner, I've got Sentinel Nightcrawler, the Martian Manhunter, and Darth Revan.
It's going to be a pretty tough one.
It's going to be a good one. And because obviously some of the big players are out of the way now, and they've either won or lost, and obviously they can't come back in apart from, I don't know, some sort of weird grudge match or something like that. That means that any sort of new rounds are going to be with brand new guys. So hopefully they'll get more obscure and more random, and hopefully it should make for some good mashups.
I might have Lego Indiana Jones next time.
That's fine, I'll just have a Lego Snake. I
Just
win.
Technically, oh shit. Alright, I'll have Lego Batman.
Okay.
Technically, he can't die. Oh no, that means we can't have him.
Yeah, hoisted by your own petard.
We can't have any Lego characters.
Bollocks.
But no, I think that pretty much wraps it up, to be fair.
Yes, I think so.
So next time, we'll obviously have something else. And I imagine we'll have it. We still haven't got a name. I don't know what to call it.
No, don't forget, it took us about 3 episodes before we actually came up with PvP. So
3 letters.
Yeah, name making isn't exactly our forte at the moment.
PvP.
We can think of good features, but we can't think of good names.
Speaking of features, if you want to head over to the YouTube channel, we have a brand new Dan Plays APB with some brand new Minecraft videos from our awesome Minecraft series, which I believe is up for an Emmy. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure.
They upgraded it to an Oscar, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, best Minecraft series. So.
Oh, that's pretty fucking decent. I'll go with that.
I know, yeah. I wasn't, I was expecting a lucky bag and a pat on the back, but if they want to go the whole hog, then fair enough.
We are currently holding auditions for a new pet in Minecraft because something happened to our Chocobo Brian that we won't go into now, but the evidence is on the YouTube, so head on over to on the YouTube. Just like a right old man. Get on that.
On the YouTube.
Get on that the YouTube. But yeah. So thanks for listening to our rambling. If you disagree with any of our outcomes, then fuck you.
Fuck you.
We're here talking about it. So you should have got involved and done it yourself. So fuck you, Pete. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Well, thanks for listening.
Any opinions are not welcome.
Unless they're positive. See you later.
Bye. Podcast. Podcast.